Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to see about the structure of gynoecium, that is a typical flower. Innermost wall of the typical flower, that is nothing but gynoecium or female reproductive part, that is sourced with a stalk, and this is followed by a bulb-like structure that is called ovary. The whole structure is called ovary. This is extended into a long slender thread-like structure is called style, and this is ended with capitate or cap-like structure, head-like structure. So this is called stigma. So these are the three parts contributing the female reproductive part. Each and every part is involved in the sexual reproduction of a flower. Okay. When I am going to zoom this area, what is inside present in this ovary is ovule. What is inside the ovary? Ovule. When I am going to zoom this ovary, that should be giving a structure of ovule. Structure of ovule. See here, this is the main axis. This is the main axis which supply the nourishment to the placenta. This is called placenta. This placenta is followed with a stalk. The stalk of the ovule is called funiculus. The stalk of the ovule is called funicle or funiculus. Okay. The stalk of the ovule is called funiculus. Then it is extended and going into a head-like structure. This head-like structure is attached with the funicle in this area. This area is called hilum. The attachment of ovary with funiculus is by a neck-like structure that is called hilum. And this ovary is covered by, ovary, that is nothing but I am going to zoom, not zooming the whole, I am going to zoom this one. This is covered by, this is only a ovule. This on the whole covered by integument, but here time being I am going to interpret that integument also, so don't get confusion. This is ovary. The whole structure is ovary. Then the stalk of the ovary is called funicle, and this is followed by a hilum. This is attachment site of uh, funiculus and as well as ovary, and this is extended, or this ovary is covered by a two wall layer 1 and 2. This is start from the one side and they are end up to the next side. One side they should be leaving a space, and opposite to the side is the basal side of the ovary. This is merges with the two wall layers, inner and outer wall layer, as well as outer and inner is not completely around this. Here itself this area is merged. Okay, from this to here, this area, this inner and outer merged, and out is called integuments. Outer integument, and this is outer integument. Also is covered with inner integument and a outer integument. These inner and outer are the extension of this side. Outer is this side. Okay, it leave a, that hole is called micropyle. Micro means small, pile means hole. Small hole is leaving at one side, that is called micropyle. Yeah. So one side of the ovary is open up with the micropyle by the integuments, inner integument and outer integument, inner integument and outer integument. Okay, and one side this integument wall layers or merges or disappears and leaving a large space, head-like space, so that is called the basal portion of the ovary. That basal portion of the ovary is called chalaza. The basal portion of the ovary is called chalaza. Inside the chalaza, there is a thick essential nutritive tissue is present, that is called nucellus. Nucellus is a nutritive tissue which is a main part of the ovule. Main part of the ovule is nucellus. ovule. This is the ovule. This ovule is covered by a nucellus. Actually, the a cell from a nucellus get enlarges and going to be divide meiotically and produce 4 cells. So that is encircled in this certain area. The rest of the cells like nucellus, integument, outer integument are made up of just behind their diploid cells. 2 set of chromosomes are there here: nucellus, integument and integument, hilum, funicle and nucellus. But in this embryo sac only, that area is called embryo sac. That is only is made up of single set of chromosomes. So they are haploid nature. The embryo sac is haploid. Rest of the embryo sac, that is nothing but nucellus, chalaza, integuments, hilum, funiculus, vascular tissues. These are made up of somatic cells or diploid cells. Okay, at the same time, here the integument is the protective covering layer and nucellus is the food nourishing center of the embryo sac. Embryo sac க்கு வேணுங்கிற மெட்டீரியல் ஃபுட்டை சப்ளை பண்றது நியூசெல்லஸ் தான். நியூசெல்லஸ் என்ன பண்ணுனா இந்த வாஸ்குலேச்சர் மூலமா ஃபுட்டை அப்சர்வ் பண்ணி இந்த சலாசல் ரீஜன் மூலமா உனக்கு என்ன பண்ணிருக்கும், நிறைய ஃபுட்டை இங்க நியூசெல்லஸ் ஏரியால ஸ்டோர் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கும். ஓகேங்களா. இந்த நியூசெல்லஸ்ல இருந்து தான் இந்த எம்ப்ரியோ சாக்னு சொல்லுவேன் இந்த ஓவியூலுக்கு வேணுங்கிற ஃபுட்டு வந்து சேரும். ஓகேங்களா. சோ here this ovule is consist of embryo sac. This embryo sac is a main part which is divided from the nucellus. nucellusல மைக்ரோபைலா ரீஜன் இருக்கிற ஒரு செல் enlarge ஆயிட்டு உனக்கு அது embryo sac மாறிடும். That is nothing but ovule. Embryo sac, ovule or same meaning. Here these cells are produced for 8 nucleus. Okay, 8 nucleus are produced by this embryo sac. First of all, one cell of nucellus is divided into 2. This is diploid in nature. So this is also diploid and this is also diploid. This is also diploid. Again, this diploid nucleus undergo meiosis. So they produce 4 cells. 4 cells of haploid. 4 cells of haploid is 4 nucleus are produced from the diploid cell. So this is also haploid nucleus. This is also 4 haploid nucleus. This also 4 haploid nucleus. This is derived from the B cell and this 4 is derived from A cell. So altogether they are derived from the somatic cells. That is nothing but nucellus. nucellus ல இருந்து மைக்ரோபைலா ரீஜன் இருக்கிற ஒரு செல் வந்து ரெண்டா உடையுது. அப்ப இதுல எவ்வளவு குரோமோசோம்ஸ் இருக்கோ அதே குரோமோசோம்ஸ் தான் இருக்கும். ஓகேங்களா. 8 இருக்குன்னா இங்கேயும் 8 தான் இருக்கும், இங்கேயும் 8 தான் இருக்கும். இந்த 8 என்ன ஆகுது, திருப்பியும் 4 டிவைட் ஆகுது. 1 2 மாறிச்சுன்னா அது பேரு மைட்டாசிஸ். 1 4 மாறிச்சுன்னா அது பேரு மியாசிஸ். ஸோ மியாசிஸ் டிவிஷன்ல என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா இந்த ஒரு செல் 4 நியூக்ளியஸா மாறும். ஓகேங்களா. ஸோ ஹியர் திஸ் இஸ் நெக்ஸ்ட் செல், the daughter cell which is also undergo meiosis and produce 4 haploid cells. Haploid nucleus, not cells, haploid nucleus is produced. Okay. Then என்ன ஆகுனா அவங்க எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து இங்க அரேஞ்ச் ஆயிடுறாங்க. ஸோ இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா மைக்ரோபைலா ரீஜன்லயும் இது வந்து சலாசல் ரீஜன்லயும் இருக்கிற செல்ஸ் வந்து டிவைட் ஆகுது. மைக்ரோபைலா ரீஜன்ல ஏதாவது ஒரு செல் வந்து இருக்கு. Then it is followed by synergies. At the center, there should nuclei. Polar nuclei is present at the center, and chalazal end there are 3 antipodals are there. In the chalazal region, chalazal க்கு பக்கத்துல இந்த ஏரியா இருக்கனால இது chalazal region of the embryo sac is present with antipodals, and in that micropylar region, இது micropyle பக்கத்துல இருக்கனால இது micropylar region சொல்றாங்க. இந்த ரெண்டா டிவைட் பண்ணா இந்த half வந்து chalazal region, இதுல இருந்து இது வரைக்கும் micropylar region. The other end of the ovule is called micropylar region. Here the out of 4 cells, one is become very fertile and largest become a egg. Rest 2 are synergies. Okay, synergis and egg altogether called egg apparatus. So இந்த எக்கையும் synergis சேர்த்து என்ன சொல்லுவோம்? egg apparatus. Okay, whereas in this egg apparatus is presented with one egg and two synergis. So their function will be explained after next after the class. That is nothing but during the fertilization period. Okay, fertilization process we can able to study about the egg and synergis. That is nothing but egg apparatus. Simultaneously at the middle there are two nucleus are there. They are also very important for the developing embryo. So now time being in the ovule the two nuclei is called polar nuclei. Polar nuclei. Polar region la இங்க 4 வந்துச்சு, இங்க 4 இருந்துச்சு. இங்கிருந்து ஒன்னும் இந்த 4ல இருந்து ஒன்னும் சென்டருக்கு வரனால போலார்ல இருந்து வரனால இந்த செல்ஸ் இந்த நியூக்ளியஸ் பேரு போலார் நியூக்ளியை. இது செல் கிடையாது. சைனர்ஜி செல்லு, எக் செல்லு, ஆன்டிபோடஸ் 3 செல்லு. பட் இது வந்து வெறும் நியூக்ளியஸ் தான். ஓகேங்களா? தென் this is at the center. In future this is undergo fertilization and produce endosperm. Okay, then it is followed by chalazal region antipodals. The rest of the 3 cells are modified themselves into antipodals. Most probably during the young stage, this antipodals supply the material what is nullified. எந்த சக்தி இது இந்த ஓவியலுக்கு இல்லையோ அதை வந்து antipodal resistance கொடுத்துரும். Then after they will disappear. So this is the characteristic feature of antipodals, pollen grain and egg. Can you understand what I say?
Yes, miss. Miss.
Okay, A class, B class. Can you understand me what I say?
Yes. Yes, miss.
Okay. On the whole, this egg is modified into embryo after fertilization. The pollen grain is modified into endosperm cells after fertilization. This antipodals disappears. Then the nucellus supply the food material till the end of the day. The nucellus supply the nutrient to the embryo cell. Here, the chalaza, nucellus, hilum, micropyle, funiculus, vasculature are the parts of ovary. Whereas this egg apparatus, these 3 are egg apparatus, embryo sac on the whole, egg apparatus, antipodals, polar nuclei, egg and synergis. Egg and synergis only called egg apparatus. So this egg apparatus, polar nuclei, antipodals, all together they are present at the ovule. They are of nothing but 8 nucleated and 7-celled structure. How it should be 8 nucleated? 3 nucleus at the micropylar end, 3 nucleus at the chalazal end, and remaining 2 nuclei are present at the center. So they are 8 nucleated structure as well as they are 7-celled. The embryo sac itself 1 cell. Inside the cell there should be what? 2 synergids and 1 egg. Totally 4 cells are there and 3 antipodals. 4 plus 3, 7 cell stage. They are in ovule is 8 nucleated and 7 celled. Clear? So towards the micropylar end only we can able to see the egg and synergies. Towards the chalazal region we can see the antipodals. Okay, they are supplied with the vascular bundle. This is the structure about ovule. Let's see the theoretical part. Stalk of the ovule is called funiculus. Stalk of the ovule is called funiculus. Funicles attached with the ovary at the hilum. Funicle attached with the ovary by the hilum. Okay, then ovary is covered by 2 wall layers. They are integument, upper integument, inner integument. Sorry, ovule. Here also ovule. So the ovule is covered with 2 wall layers, inner integument and outer integument, covered by inner and outer integuments. This is followed by one end of this integument merges at the region of chalaza. So the integuments are not completely developed. At one side, the basal side, there should be the merging of integuments. So this is called the chalazal region. This chalazal region is the basal part of the ovule. Basal part of the ovule is chalazal. So this is a terminal part of the ovule. And next, at one end, the integuments, sorry, at one end, this integument leave an opening. It is called terminal part. So at one end, the integument leave a opening. They are not fully jointed. There should be an opening that is developed by the integument. It is the terminal part of the ovule. This is the terminal part of the ovule. This is the basal part of the ovule. This opening is called micropyle. The opening is called micropyle. Okay, so this inside the integument, nucellus is present. Inside the two integument, nucellus is present. The nucellus is the very important main part of the ovule because it supplies the nutrition to the ovule as well as developing embryo. After fertilization, the ovule is become embryo. By this time, they are nourished by food with the help of nucellus, which is stored up energy or stored up food. Okay, so this towards the micropylar region, there should of the nucellus, towards the micropylar region of the nucellus, there should be, that is nothing but this area, there should be presence of egg embryo sac. This is present. Okay, towards the whole micropylar nucellus வந்து நான் வந்து மிடில்ல போட்ட மாதிரி இருக்கு. Towards the micropylar region, the egg is, sorry, ovule is present. That is embryo sac is present. The rest of the parts are leave by a tissue, nucellus tissues. Okay, இங்க வந்து சென்டர்ல வரைஞ்சிருக்கோமா, இது வந்து எப்படி வரையணும்னா இப்படி வரைஞ்சிருக்கும். இந்த இந்த நியூசெல்லஸ்ல மைக்ரோபைலர் ரீஜன்ல தான் உனக்கு எம்பேஸ் இருக்கணும், மித்ததுல நியூசெல்லஸா இருக்கணும். இது வந்து சலாசல் ரீஜன். இதுல இன்டிகுமெண்ட் மெர்ஜ் ஆயிரும். இங்க இன்டிகுமெண்ட் ஓப்பனிங் கொடுக்கும், இப்படி ஓப்பனிங் கொடுக்கும். ஓகேங்களா, சரி. Then towards the micropylar region of the nucellus, the embryo sac is present. Towards the micropylar side of the embryo sac, an egg and two synergies are present. So, towards the micropylar side of this embryo is presented with two synergies and one egg is present. Okay, and the egg is the female reproductive part of the cell. Female gamete. The egg is the female gamete. Towards the micropylar side, an egg with two synergies are present. Egg is nothing but female gamete, and this is also presented with egg. The synergies with the egg is called egg apparatus, as I already said. Okay, va synergies egg is egg apparatus nu sollalam. Then this end at the middle of the embryo sac is presented with two polar nuclei. Okay, so at the center of the embryo sac is presented with two polar nuclei when it is in ovule. Ovula இருக்கும்போது polar nuclei இருக்கும். At the chalazal side, three antipodals are there. So this is the micropylar side. This is the chalazal side. Chalazal க்கு பக்கத்துல இருக்கறனால. So there are three antipodals are present. An ovule is made up of 8 nucleated with 7 celled condition. An ovule is observed as 8 nucleated with 7 celled condition. Okay, this is the ultra climax of the ovule. So this is a separate 7-mark question you should familiar. Okay, so far we discussed sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Sexual reproduction takes place in flowers. In flowering plants, sexual reproduction takes place in flowers. So flowers are involved in sexual reproduction. So flowers has two main regions. Flowers என்ன இருக்கு, ரெண்டு main region இருக்கு. Non-essential part of the flower and the essential part of the plant. Yesterday we discussed Non-essential part of the flowers are only attract the insects and protect the flower. So they are nothing but calyx,
And corolla.
corolla. What is non-essential, sorry, essential part of the flower? Egg and
Gynecium.
egg and gynecium and anthism, especially egg and sperm. You can add gynecium also and resin are the essential part of the flower. Okay, basically the sexual reproduction takes place in flowers. In the flowers, there are two broad segments are there. That is non-essential part of the flower and essential part of the flower. Non-essential part of the flower support the sexual reproduction and and as well as it is protect the gametes, support and protect the gametes and floral parts. Whereas essential parts involved in sexual reproduction and produce zygote. Okay, involved in sexual reproduction, produce gametes and produce zygote. Okay, based on this, the process of sexual reproduction are carried out by two processes. What are they? Pollination is followed by fertilization. Pollination is followed by fertilization. So these are the two processes definitely runs by what? Sexual reproduction of flowering plants. Okay, I
Yes,
hope
miss.
you understood